Welcome back to the Big Red F. I do have some DIY projects to edit and post, but in the meantime, one of the things that came up recently was I like to watch a lot of movies, or as I often say, I consume a lot of content, be it music, movies, television shows, audiobooks, but I tend to go towards streaming these days, which has its upsides and its downsides. Provided the internet is available, it's not a big deal. If it's not available, then obviously one wishes you still had a DVD or a VHS or a cassette tape. But realistically, the internet's pretty much always available these days. Redundancy and all that's gotten a lot better. Moving on, Fandango now is usually what I buy my streaming on when it comes to videos. I don't usually buy television shows unless they're really hard to find. But they sent me an email, and I decided to take a look at what they had in the bundle offer, and it's the Lionsgate 50 movie bundle. It was $25. There's 50 movies, so if each movie's only 50 cents, would I get 50 cents worth of enjoyment out of each movie? I went through, and there was at least 10 movies that I really wanted to own because I've seen them before. There's a few movies that sounded interesting that I would never buy otherwise, but for 50 cents, why not? So I'm going to have a segment here where I basically go over the movies as I've watched them. So this is the first segment for that. So this is the first movie I watched was The Wraith. I haven't picked any specific order for these. I'll probably go through and do that later, and maybe I'll rank them by the date. I know that some of them did look like they're actually, a few of them might have been pre-80s. But regardless, The Wraith, which stars Charlie Sheen, amongst others, was released in December of '86, December 21st specifically, so it would have been a Christmas movie, which there was no Christmas charm to be had anywhere in that movie. But the description basically was a gang of hot rodding or otherwise racing punks terrorize a town, and then a mysterious drifter comes in, or stranger in a car comes in and basically kills everybody. I've seen it before. This wasn't my first time seeing it. I definitely saw it probably as a teenager. I definitely would not have seen it in '86, as I would have been way too young. Interestingly enough, it had a budget of $2 million and reported overall revenues of $3.5 million. So The Wraith had an amazing cast. Obviously, I've already mentioned Charlie Sheen. There's also Keri Johnson. Notably, Clint Howard made his way into this movie. I've seen him in multiple different things in the past, but one of the things that I know him to be is he's been a highlight in multiple different Star Trek series, be it the original, Deep Space Nine. Pretty sure he showed up on Voyager. I'll have to double check that one. But regardless, Randy Quaid played the sheriff in that one. But again, amazing cast for the fact that it was a mid-'80s release movie that I would say was a quintessential of the times, in that there was some wrong to be righted without any real explanation as to why the guy showed up. No, spoiler alert. Dude comes back from the dead to revenge kill everybody that had a hand in killing him off, which was this gang of roadster, speed teenagers that were causing problems and apparently chop shopping vehicles and stuff. And in the end, he rode off into the sunset on his motorcycle with the girl that he had been dating back before he got killed off. So a very classic '80s ending. Was the script good? No, it wasn't that good. The dialogue, there's a few good points here and there. On the whole, the whole premise, like I said, there's no explanation as to why he came back and didn't look like the original guy, other than, well, this was the closest I could get to what I used to look like is how he explains that he's not the original actor. But no aspect to why he's got a futuristic car with a seemingly alien / magical engine and can blow up and reform and not die. There's no explanation after any of that. I decided I would denote whether or not I felt the movie would be worthy of a remake, given that a lot of these are from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. Maybe you'd be worthy of a remake. If you change up the script a bit. I feel like maybe something more along the lines of a supernatural element, akin to the backstory of Spawn, deal with the devil, that kind of thing. Or, as far as if he is going to be alien, because he did seemingly come down from the stars, maybe not so much on the whole doesn't die, but maybe he can phase through matter, and that's why he doesn't die in all of the explosions or car crashes and stuff, or the car has shields or something. I don't know, but I don't know. I would say definitely go maybe a little more supernatural, a little less just no explanation. But the other thing I wanted to point out, I haven't read any in a long time, but I did read a number of comics from like the 50s and 60s, much akin to like what the Tales from the Crypt were seemingly based off of, these sort of folky, quasi-mystic, paranormal stories, and the premise on the Wraith sort of had that we don't have to explain everything that's going on background to it. That's the best I got is they wanted to make a movie that it was about racing cars, and nobody had the idea for the Fast and the Furious yet. So the best they got was a revenge flick where Charlie Sheen, in a full futuristic NASCAR suit, is just killing off ne'er-do-wells. So the Wraith, I give it a 3 out of 5. With a maybe worthy of a remake if they redo the script quite a bit. And that's about it. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.